So thanks everybody for joining in. I'm extremely honored and I will say equally excited to be a part of the 8th edition of the Global Testing Retreat this year. My name is Suneeta Palande. As I was already introduced, 22 years of industry experience handling key roles of test delivery lead, transformation, test consultant, pre-sales and capability lead. However, currently I am the quality engineering and testing go-to-market and solution architect lead at Capgemini India, and I'm based out of Mumbai. I am sharing the stage with Chaitali. Chaitali, if you would want to go ahead.
Sure, thank you. But before my introduction, that was really very amazing keynote by Priya. A lot of takeaways for me personally. So hello, everyone. My name is Chaitali Lambat, and I really would like to thank Aditya for this wonderful opportunity and this keynote that I will be delivering with Suneeta Palande. I am the Test Automation and AI Center of Excellence lead here at Society India, Mumbai. And in my role as automation lead, I'm spearheading initiatives aimed at revolutionizing our testing strategies through the integration of cutting-edge automation and AI technologies. With more than 20 plus years of experience in software testing, I'm more involved into bringing optimization to our testing practices for maximum efficiency and effectiveness. Now, in my role as AI lead, specifically, and I'm also handling the Gen AI portfolio within Society Capgemini. I am focused towards harnessing the power of AI-driven testing solutions to elevate our quality assurance standards. And I'm really very excited and happy to be here today and sharing the stage with Suneeta to deliver this keynote.
Thank you. Thanks, Chaitali. So team, I think, yes, definitely Priya opened the stage. We kind of continuing on the topic. I think Priya's talk was more of a warm-up to the entire artificial intelligence and Gen AI aspects. The topic that we've selected today is quality engineering infused journey progress, right? Along with that, we've also given a theme to it, okay, which essentially is high speed and low drag. I hope as much as intriguing the theme was to us, it must have sounded to you as well, right? So I'll spend a minute to really talk about the theme that we've shared. So high speed, low drag essentially is an aerodynamic term, which first was popularized and used as a buzzword in the military while they introduced the jet aircraft, okay, which compared to their predecessors or contemporaries was very high speed and really had a low drag, right? Now, while this is a colloquial expression, but which definitely originated from the military aviation, but it is really adopted in various contexts of business and technology. Now, we really couldn't think of anything better than this analogy for our talk for the evolution of quality engineering, how Gen AI has essentially caused the disruption, but how we are really going to aggressively progress ahead, right? Now, what you see here on screen are the 4 forces of the flight, which are lift, weight, thrust, and drag. Okay. If you really bring this analogy back to technology, we would say that all of the technology changes that you see here in the word cloud essentially have been the thrust, that have been the thrust to the change, right? The drag and challenges have been the needed validations, the needed build confidence, the newer need of test strategies, all of the technology rush around things, okay? However, what is important, okay, is the lift, which has definitely been the evolution of testing as an inclusive function with all the development strategies, okay? And our entire talk is going to be revolving around this particular strategy. And I hope we really make justice, both me and Chaitali, to the entire concept and the entire talk around this that, we would really want to emphasize on, right? Now, before I really move ahead and take a deep dive, okay, I would want to spend a couple minutes for all of us to really reminisce that the thrust that we've really got through the technology change and how this has really helped in evolving the QE journey, right? I think all of us would agree that the software development has its own focus, its own goals, methodologies, right? And be it web development, API, mobile, embedded systems, blockchain, agile, DevOps, the low code, no code, AR, VR, right? AI algorithm based development. And the reason why I've actually spent time to call out all of them, okay, is that every of this, really has a very pressing need for the right test types to be aligned with it, with the right test strategy, making it effective, so that we really have the confidence to deliver against all of these different varied array of technology, right? Now, further, the complications get added with the needed knowledge of domain, right? Without which testing and testers really are not said as doing the right job. It needs the right engagement model, the right fit quality engineering hub that the quality engineers really need to keep an eye on. Not to forget that all of these technologies and abstract, would have mapping testing tools, right? And all of our technology tooling partners that we have along with, so the testers needing a knowledge of all of these mapping tools and technologies, right? And then definitely the backbone of all of this being the processes and methodology that testers need to apply whenever it is either agile, waterfall, DevOps, continuous testing, continuous development, and aspects, right? I will not drive towards the cost, quality, and time benefits that the testers or the architects really need to keep in mind towards while they really move into all of this journey. However, while most of us have witnessed this entire powerful journeys and the newbies in this field, might for y'all this all might seem overwhelming, but I would say the benefit has been that with AI and Gen AI's applicability to quality engineering through most of these scenarios, right? This essentially is going to be the highest gear of acceleration, okay, that it will take quality engineering to, and really be a true lift to the IT implementations, right? And Chaitali, if you could just click once more, we could see the entire representation here, okay? And just on a lighter note, whenever my managerial group asked me that, Suneeta, why have you not been able to hire a solution architect? I mean, it's been 3 months, 6 months. What's really stopping? Okay, so that this is where I really show them the wheel and the various dimensions that a solution architect or a key lead in testing space really needs to really be a solution architect. And I'm sure most of us will be able to resonate here, right? So with that being said, okay, let's now take a jump to how quality engineering and testing is really going to make a difference, right? So a few of you folks asked the question, even Priya alluded to it. Now, how much of impact is Gen AI or AI use cases in testing is going to influence? Everybody has that question, right? How much of disruption is it going to cause? Okay. So folks, let me tell you, me and Chaitali have figured it all. Okay. This is exactly where we are going to show you a small video of how it is really going to impact us. So Chaitali, if you could just take us through the video.
Looking to upskill for the future?
Is it audible?
Yes.
Okay.
This new AI can perform all coding jobs in seconds, including blockchain development. While this AI is already outperforming accounting firms. Meanwhile, the new graphic design AI aims to automate graphic design and could minimize the need for...
Relax. Because in a future where AI does most of the work, there'll be one thing that humans will finally get to do all day long. Nothing.
Okay. So while that could really be a dream thing, the art of doing nothing and artificial intelligence really does everything for us. That ain't happening, right? But it was great to see that that might be somewhere in the near future. But right now, folks, we are really not there, right? So while there are a lot many analysts that really talk about the AI and Gen AI impact on economies countrywide, the labor productivity impact, the GDP impact, the transformational impact. And there are various stats on the newer opportunities, the newer job shifts, skill changes, productivity enhancements. Importantly, being the human AI collaboration, right? It is very important to know how organizations, policymakers, and societies, which include us, okay, respond to these technology changes, right? Important is going to be to responsibly look at the deployments, the ethical considerations, the proactive efforts that we do to do the skill change, okay, to look at the or to address the potential job displacements. That is going to be very critical, while we really shape up the future and the skills that are needed for us to be more relevant. Okay. With that, I will hand it over to Chaitali, who is really going to help us or take a deep dive into really being or really continue to be relevant. Okay, so being relevant is something that I think all of us really know, and with the view that I gave in, we know that there are just various avenues of how we can be relevant. But the answer to the how is definitely something that we are going to hear Chaitali say. Okay, yeah, over to you, Chaitali.
Thank you. Thanks, Suneeta. So I hope you're sharing the screen. All right. So while Suneeta is sharing screen, I think what the inference that we can draw from what Suneeta said is definitely this journey from the traditional testing to AI infused testing was not really
visible. Sorry.
No, it's not visible as of now, Suneeta.
Yeah.
Yes, we can see.
Yeah. So, right. Thank you. Thank you, Suneeta. So, yeah, what I was saying was the evolution journey from traditional testing to AI-infused testing was not really easy. Now, what it involved was a blend of technical upskilling, process adaptation, experimentation, and most important, the mindset geared towards embracing technological advancements to enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of quality assurance processes. Now, while we do a lot in quality engineering, but if we just want to highlight a few of the core areas which are there in the screen, then these are typically test case generation, test environment setup, test data generation, test execution, and test analysis. Now, initially, testing relied heavily on manual efforts, which was definitely time consuming and prone to human error. We have heard that a lot of time. With the advent of automation tools, test scripts were created to execute predefined test cases. And thus, we introduced automation, or in some cases, smart automation, in some of the core testing areas. However, you all would agree that automation itself needs a huge effort. Now, if I quote an example, right, a simple script would, or say a Selenium script would take anywhere between 6 to 8 hours for the scripting. And hence, we still couldn't achieve that high speed that Suneeta spoke about. And with the advent of scriptless automation tools, we could achieve desired results, but not as per the expectations. And that is where AI helped us. Okay, so what AI did was it enhanced the automation by enabling the creation of more intelligent test scripts that can adapt to changes in the application, self-heal, and dynamically adjust test scenarios based on learned patterns, and thus it accelerated the smart automation. The AI techniques like predictive analytics, machine learning, and natural language processing transformed how testers interacted with systems. And certainly, the evolution from AI-driven testing to what might be termed as generative AI-driven testing signifies a progression towards more advanced, autonomous, and adaptable testing methodologies. With our months of exploration, we concluded that it covered all dimensions of testing by augmenting the capabilities of the tester. And Now, going ahead, if we try to compare AI with Gen AI, there are a few differences that lies in the evolutionary aspect, where generative AI signifies a more advanced and adaptable form of AI that goes beyond task-specific capabilities, emphasizing continuous learning, autonomy, contextual understanding, and dynamic adaptation in a broader ecosystem. So if we speak about specifics, then the difference lies in in these areas highlighted. So if you take to the screen above, Suneeta, we are talking about the scope and adaptability. So what it means. Now, AI often refers to various technologies and algorithms that enable machine learning to simulate human-like intelligence to perform specific tasks, whereas generative AI implies a higher level of adaptability and learning capacity. It suggests AI systems that not only performs the task, but also evolve, learn from experience, and adapt to new situations more comprehensively. Now, if you talk about learning and evolution, AI typically includes machine learning techniques where algorithm learns from the data and improve their performance on specific tasks. Generative AI suggests a more advanced level of learning and continuous evolution. When we talk of autonomy and decision making, AI systems operate based on predefined rules and patterns, needing a human intervention for complex decision making. Generative AI implies a high degree of autonomy with, again, systems capable of making more independent decisions. Then we can also talk about the contextual understanding. AI might be task specific and lack a deep understanding of broader context of a real world implications. Generative AI aims to comprehend and interpret contextual information, considering broader implications, user behavior, and complex relationship within a system. Now, I'll only talk about maybe cognitive abilities and ecosystem integration. So while some AI systems exhibit cognitive capabilities, generative AI implies a higher level of cognitive functions, potentially mimicking more human-like thinking, reasoning, and problem-solving abilities. And when we talk of ecosystem integration, AI system may function in isolation, focusing on specific tasks or domains, whereas generative AI emphasizes integration within a large ecosystem, collaborating with other AI components or systems to create more interconnected and sophisticated solutions. So I would say traditional testing has always been deterministic with clear inputs leading to predictable outputs. But now if we think of AI, generative AI specifically, it introduces probabilistic aspect where outputs are not fixed, but fall within a range of potentialities. Okay, so if we talk about the use cases, and I think Priya also touched upon few use cases, not only testing specific, but in general. I think it covers everything, right? So these use cases has moved from low drag to high speed really. Pretty much from test case design, test analysis, strategy, execution, automation of low manual tasks, reporting, audit, and governance. I must say that the knowledge base for QT is expanding, with generative AI acting as both a catalyst and enhancing our existing practices. And these are at very high level. Now, every stage that you see here and which I mentioned here will have branches. For example, automation will branch into web, Windows, API, mobile. Similarly, test analysis will have, say, optimization, test prioritization, for example. And if I circle back to my previous example of automation, right? Generative AI may not help, say, again, it's exploration, but it may not really help the very complex scenarios. But if we can still use it to help, say, for simple and medium scripts, then it would still mean a huge effort savings, say about 30 to 50% in automation itself, thus accelerating the pace of automation. And generative AI, as I said, is a catalyst for QET and evolution. However, just to note that its power for creation or generation than more of reasoning possesses unique challenges as well as the opportunities in quality engineering. Now, let us take another example of our own, so Jeti's proprietary tmap.net. It has several test design techniques that are already efficient and ensures coverage with manageable count of test cases. But with integration of generative AI, we have furthermore accelerated the technique, bringing more efficiency. And still, that doesn't mean we don't need human experts. QA&T professional must become adept at navigating AI-generated outputs, discerning quality, and making critical judgments. Now, it is more important to know how we extract the value of generative AI. And what we have observed in many months of our exploration is generative AI has many unknowns, and generic solution is not enough. Also, I must say there is no guaranteed quality or consistency in the output. We need to know how to use it correctly in customer landscape. But the overarching ambition from its usage should always be bringing efficiency and bringing effectiveness. And both of these are achievable only if the input to generative AI is complemented with robust prompts for. So then with generative AI being new frontier, what would be the future of QA&T workforce? And I believe that was a question asked to Priya. So the infusion of generative AI will inevitably shift the skill sets required for us, all in quality engineering and testing. Consultants will need to evolve, not just in technical powers, but also in their ability to engage with and challenge AI. And very critical for us as quality engineers, we should understand Gen AI and its applications. So that means we need to familiarize ourselves with AI concepts, understand its capabilities, and explore how AI can enhance testing processes. We need to identify appropriate or right use cases. So what it means is assessing which testing processes or areas can benefit from generative AI is crucial. And this involves analyzing existing workflows, identifying repetitive tasks, and pinpointing areas where AI can bring significant improvements, such as automated test case generation, predictive analytics for defect detection, or intelligent test data management. Now, next would be acquiring right skills and tools knowledge. So learning AI-specific skills really involved programming languages, Python, R, machine learning frameworks, and AI-based testing tools is definitely essential. But for us, the most important, as I mentioned earlier as well, prompt engineering is very important and essential skill to acquire. Next is experiment and iterate. Experiment with AI tools and techniques in a controlled environment. Analyze the outcomes, iterate on approaches, and adapt methodologies based on results obtained. Continuously improve and adopt as AI evolves and new technologies emerge. Quality engineers need to stay updated with the latest advancements. And last, but definitely not the least, is collaborate and share knowledge. Encouraging collaboration between quality engineers, the community, our community, data scientists, and AI specialists fosters a deeper understanding of AI applications and testing. Sharing knowledge, experiences, and best practices within the team accelerates the integration of AI into testing workflows. So I would say as the technology is advancing, our evolution is very essential to bring the value from technology for our customers. And definitely that is when we can achieve the high speed that we desire. So I would definitely, there's a lot to speak about AI-infused quality engineering journey, but I would like to close with a quote by Warren Buffett. Opportunities come infrequently. When it rains cold, put out the bucket, not the thimble. So AI generative is that opportunity for us, and we need to act quickly and decisively. It is definitely here to stay longer and certainly has a huge potential to make the difference. So thank you, everyone. And I think we are open for questions.
Yeah, so thank you, team. We definitely wanted to keep it as real as possible. So while the industry experience, what the industry is saying, what is the larger picture, is something that we wanted to give, but we also wanted to make it real to answer the how, right? And very rightly so. In the earlier session, also we heard on the how part of it, right? Is QA skill depleting? Are we going to be extinct? Okay, those are the very common questions. I think almost it's been a decade, since the evolution or the digital disruption has started. We've been hearing about this question, right? But I would say, along with Chaitali, we are getting more and more niche, more and more in demand, right? And if you really jump on this journey of your skill upliftment, really understanding most of the technologies, we really cannot be a jack of all trades, but that is really going to get you to be yourself a driver of this particular acceleration. Yeah.
So there are a few questions. Amazing session and knowledge sharing here, and very well said. In one of the slides you mentioned about is collaboration and knowledge sharing, and you guys are doing it in this community as well. That is, we want to thank you both, Suneeta and Chaitali. So one question that I can see is from Ganesh, where he says, Gen AI, did you actively use it or just experimenting at your organization level? Any examples that you can share?
Chaitali, you want to take this one?
Yeah, so as we all know, generative AI is, we are into exploration phase. Having said that, I would not say generative AI is pretty much very new, right? The LLM models has been existing like more than 7 years now, but with OpenAI making it public, it has just expanded, right? So yes, there are several cases. We have our applied innovation and exchange team within Capgemini, who has helped our customers into a number of domains, be it retail, be it life sciences, medical, healthcare, manufacturing. So there are several use cases or sorry, case studies where we have really helped customer with their problems. And if we talk about quality engineering specifically, so what we have not observed, though we have AIE team, what we have not observed is quality engineering use cases or case studies much being published. But within Sojeti, almost as we speak, we have 15 plus customers who has shown us interest, and we are doing pilots for them. And we have started with the test case design and the automation journey. So it is real time, and it is, as I said, it is really here to stay. And we have seen the efficiency gain as well from generative AI.
Very nice. Thank you so much, Chaitali, on highlighting and sharing that as well. Anup is asking a question that is it possible for you to recommend any tool or courses that we can, as a QA team members, use that for enhancing our Gen AI skills or experimenting it? Anything like that?
Yes, there are many. And as I said, Aditya, the most important thing, see, we are quality experts, right? We may not really want to get into more of programming, while Python programming is really becoming very important. However, what is important for quality engineering is understanding prompt and how to engineer that prompt. So there are various prompt engineering techniques like, zero shot, end shot, tree of thoughts. Okay. So understanding all these prompt engineering techniques and implementing it to for different use cases that we want to develop within our ecosystem. So that is important, right? For example, if I talk about few shot prompting, how would the generative AI understand what is my customer landscape or what is my landscape? So we need to give some examples to the prompt or to the model, LLM model. And once the model understands that, yes, this is how I need to behave, then when you ask the second question, the question is a prompt, then it will give the right answer. So you or us, we as a quality engineer should really understand the prompt engineering techniques, because we are domain experts. Even if you hire prompt engineers, they would not bring domain flavor in it, right? So hence, in fact, to our L&D department also, we have prescribed these courses on prompt engineering, and I can definitely share that across Aditya
Sure.
after this.
That would be great. Maybe if we have time, Harsh, can you find out if Deepak is there? Maybe I can ask few more questions if that's okay. So there is one that I would like to ask. Ganesh Manoharan is asking, on top of the question that we use about using AI in QE, don't you think that using AI will not compromise compliance, especially when we work with a database organization? Do you think security, compliance, and all this would come into play where we start interacting with any Gen AI tools and pass on some critical information to these tools, and maybe it will go in everybody's hand? What do you think about that?
So yeah, so the smile on our faces is because this is a very
This is a
common
top. This is a top FAQ.
Yeah.
Right, this is a very common question that is being asked now. Hence, and it is very important that which is that organization or partner we are partnering with, right? Microsoft. There is GitHub Copilot, but definitely Microsoft has its own guardrails, right? And these guardrails will ensure the compliance, the security aspect of it. So when we are talking about these LLM models, and once the models are hosted on customer landscape, it is in their firewall. Okay, so whatever data is within their firewall, it doesn't go out. Okay, and hence using these all security guardrails, the compliance aspects is being taken care of. Okay, so the right implementation, the selection of right model is important, and thus we can ensure the security and compliance aspects, Aditya.
So thank you so much. And there is one which Brijesh Dev is asking, given the use cases that you mentioned earlier, how reliable or trustworthy are the output given by the generative AI? Do you think those are reliable and really can be used trustworthy?
See, we can, as I mentioned, we cannot 100% rely on the output, because what we have observed is for for the same prompt, the generative AI many a times give different responses or different outputs, or the completion API, if we call it. But hence the prompt engineering, the right prompts is very essential, because it brings that accuracy. Okay, and what we have observed is at least 90% of the times, with the right prompts embedded into the models, the output is exact, the output is accurate. However, what is important, and that is where human intelligence would come into picture, is the review of the output. And as we said, generative AI cannot replace humans. It cannot replace the human intelligence, because the domain aspect is something that we can bring, and not generative AI. It can bring the automation. Okay, it can bring the automation of all these use cases, but definitely the review aspect of it has to be taken care by us. So I would say, do not rely completely on generative AI. We need to do our job of reviewing the output, and maybe fine-tuning it or refining it. I think, Suneeta, you have
Just to add to it, right? I mean, I feel this question also brings in a lot of why we showed you that entire circle of all of the dimensions of quality engineering, right? So while the prompts might give different answers, okay, be in the nature of it, it is important that the right feed that goes in is also a very curated set of data. Okay, and I'd like to take an example. So there was one client wherein we were consulting, and the client had a lot many questions specifically regarding what are the right use cases for implementation. And then we wanted to start off with test case design and automation techniques for the client. Okay. However, I am sure most of the teams here would agree that for the right test cases to be evolved, it is important that your requirements are refined well enough, right? Your requirements are in the right shape and format. They have enough meat, the acceptance criteria and the considerations, have been put up in the right manner, right? And as we continued the consultation, most of the observations concentrated around how your requirements need to be strengthened, and then further the outcome of your test cases would be great, and hence then your what you're automating is going to be a great outcome. Okay, so if you really have to make the best use of generative AI, looking at the entire length and breadth of dimensions in quality engineering is going to be helpful. And then over time, as you really work with your prompts and you work with your data, your output is going to get preciser and more accurate as you progress through the journey. Right. So it is a journey both for the overall technology and for us as we implement it for each of our client implementations.
So that is amazing. Actually, you have summed it up very nicely, and thanks for answering so many questions. And since our next speaker is here, can I just say that there are so many other questions that you guys have. You opened up the vision. Both of you did remarkable to have this session. Another wonderful keynote that we have today is yours, Suneeta and Chaitali. Amazing session. Thank you so much. I would like to applaud on behalf of the entire audience and comment that this is one of the most wonderful, eye-opening sessions that we had, and so many others in the audience as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much for the opportunity. Thank
And
you.
if you can look at
Thank
the
you,
questions and
Aditya.
answer in the chat, that would be great. So there's so many others that people are
Yeah.
asking. I can't keep on asking because then we
No,
will
no
overshoot
problem.
the time. Okay.
Sure,
Thank
sure.
you so much.
Yeah,
Yes.
we are with you here, Aditya. We'll put up the answers. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks a
Aditya.
lot.
Thank you.
Thank
Hey
you.
Aditya, just to add there, given in the context of this session, sorry to bother and unmute, but I just posted some of the tool names over there in the chat, which definitely I have used I mean recently. Some of them will really help to automate testing of the AI hallucination, which is the key question was here, I guess, right?
Yes, yes.
So
And in fact, you look
clever
at the
hands.
chat comment from Tony
Yeah.
there. Clever hands, art, deep, full. Yeah. Thank you so much, Tony, on that. Yes.
Yeah. So just wanted to add, I mean, my
Yeah.
experience on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thanks.